Part 78, Effects of Prayers for Rejuvenation. Listen to a part of the sayings from the book Narrations from the Cosmos on the topic Effects of Prayers for Rejuvenation by Miodrag Alexic, who for years collected unpublished sayings from Dr. Lubisha Stojanovich's seminars, who again received all of the above from the superintelligent energies of the cosmos in deep meditation. 2012. The topic we will cover today is also something new. As a result of my curiosity, I was looking for an explanation for one vagueness in the presentation of what I received from spiritual energies, which is related to the effects of rejuvenation for younger people. We have always said that rejuvenation primarily applies to people who are over 55 years old, that it only makes sense for them, because those who are 80 years old have no more time to wait, but must react immediately, so probably the spiritual energies in that sense orientated on that group of old people. However, a 40-year-old person from Subotica contacted me and insisted that I do rejuvenation for him, and I drew his attention to his age, but this person received in meditation that he should do rejuvenation. I also started working for him, and he called me after a few days and said that the effects were incredible, that they were the same as the effects experienced by these people over 60 years old. Thus, enthusiasm, tirelessness, desire for life, work and good mood, etc. This startled and amazed me, so after a few phone calls from this person, I became interested in seeing what it was all about, where the boundaries really are, at what age should we stop, and at what age should we insist. Of course, I asked the keys of sacred knowledge again, yesterday, and my question was, what are the effects of rejuvenation on young and middle-aged people, that is, up to 55 years old? I went into meditation from 10 to 140 Hz, performed the ritual that is necessary to get the absolute truth so that my ego does not interfere with it, and this is what the keys of sacred knowledge say. It is good that you ask this question, because the very information that rejuvenation is done up to the age of 40 remained incomplete, because at first it was necessary to encourage older people to get involved in this activity. The essence of rejuvenation consists in the fact that many cells, blood vessels, nerves, individual organs that have aged are regenerated as much as they have aged in the last 15 years. However, this is only the main task of this method of rejuvenation, because it contains a number of positive elements that have not been explained and disclosed because it was necessary to concentrate on the effects of rejuvenation, that is, the removal of the effects of aging in people of advanced age. However, these other positive effects represent a series of extremely important actions that are implemented simultaneously with the elimination of the consequences of organ aging within the framework of this rejuvenation method. First of all, it refers to the improvement of chronic diseases, due to the fact that they will be alleviated to a considerable extent, and some will even be completely cured. The second most important effect during this rejuvenation refers to the cleaning of blood vessels in all vital organs in the brain, heart, lungs, kidneys, liver and other organs, independent of the effects of removing aging on these blood vessels. This means that the blood vessels will be healed, cleaned, and regenerated regardless of the age of the person who is in the process of rejuvenation. And that's basic. So, I did not insist that those who are younger than, say, 55 years old, should be included in the rejuvenation because I thought that it would not affect them. No, this method produces effects, whether you are 100 years old or 30, it has the same positive effect because, if someone has blocked blood vessels, this method cleans them regardless of age, it does not make a difference. This is certainly one of the most important effects overall in this method, because the cleanliness and functionality of blood vessels is the main condition for extending life in enlightened persons, which means that in other people this improvement will represent the main positive effect. The third suitability related to the process of rejuvenation is the restoration of strength, desire for activity, diligence, perseverance and tirelessness in work, which is also not related to the age at which the person in the process of rejuvenation is. The fourth is a good mood, acceptance of all jobs, enthusiasm, desire for spiritual development. It also does not fall into that basic area of rejuvenation. This means that a significant part of the positive effects that occur during the implementation of the rejuvenation method called black balls on the horizon is not related to the age of the person undergoing rejuvenation, but would include all other persons regardless of age. So, the effects that occur when applying the method of rejuvenating the black balls on the horizon can be divided into two groups. The first one refers to the elimination of the consequences of aging by 15 years on all organs of the human body and on the aura. The second refers to a series of improvements that usually have nothing to do with this process of removing the consequences of aging, which is what the first group of actions deals with, except for some normal improvements that should appear during this rejuvenation of the organism. However, the second group of improvements relates mostly to what we just said, namely, first, improvement in chronic diseases. Second, healing, cleansing and regeneration of blood vessels of the brain, heart and other vital organs. Third, increasing the strength of the desire for activity, perseverance, tirelessness in work. Fourth, good mood, enthusiasm, desire to develop spirituality. This represents the physical, mental and spiritual rebirth of a person, where age does not play a big role. From this we can draw the conclusion that people who are 50 to 20 years old can expect the effects of this revival in the physical, psychological and spiritual aspects at the same level as people in older years who are involved in this rejuvenation process. Certainly, the main goal of this rejuvenation is to extend people's lifespan, because that is the wish of the Creator. The most direct positive effect of his desire is the rejuvenation of those who are in advanced years and whose life is coming to an end, because they do not have time to postpone rejuvenation. This was the only reason why the instruction for rejuvenation was given exclusively for people over 50 years old. However, as this analysis has shown, positive effects, and above all those that are most necessary, mental, physical and spiritual regeneration, would be fully realized in young and middle-aged people, while rejuvenation would not occur for them because it's not even necessary. Therefore, it is recommended that even young people under the age of 40 practice this method of rejuvenation, because it will revive their life, thus achieving not only a much more active, efficient and comfortable continuation of life, but at the same time they will slow down their aging, which has already begun, although there are no external effects yet. The application of this method of rejuvenation for people up to 20 years of age will in most cases not give adequate effects, because everything that it brings to people up to 20 years of age already exists, is already in full force and development, so there is no point in emphasizing it. Here, this is one surprising piece of information. This time I hit only the young people. That surprised me, because this was suppressed, neglected on the side. To define in one sentence all this that is given. If people from 55 to 20 years of age join the method of rejuvenation using the black balls on the horizon method, then they will not have the effect of rejuvenation because they are young, they do not need it, but they will have all those other effects that the elderly have, which is this revival, psychological, physical and spiritual, which every person needs. This method does not work on people under the age of 20, because they are still developing, in full swing. They get it naturally until life starts to press and suffocate them. The treasury of sacred knowledge is grateful for your interest and sends you a lot of spiritual patience and love.